Aloha Unity of Seattle. It's Faith Rivera sending you big love from Hawaii. I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. And even though we're an ocean apart, really, we are always one. One in that love, one in that peace, one in that joy. And so in that spirit, I hope you'll sing my song together with me. A lot of spaces for you to say, oh yeah, all right, oh-yos, all that kind of fun stuff. So we've got this. Let's go. This is together. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. Oh, together we raise our voice for peace. Together we sing and jump for joy. Oh, together we move. Oh, we groove. Yeah, we dance. Oh, together we live the truth. Oh yeah. In every part of me there's a part of you. Oh yeah. Alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah. Alright. Alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. Oh, the future's bright. Together we walk or talk with spirit. Together we boldly shape our dreams. Together we share this life of freedom. Oh, together we live the truth. Oh yes, 'cause in every part of me there's a part of you. Oh yeah, alright, alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. The future's bright. We live and breathe as one. With kindness and compassion we free our love. We free our light. We free the truth. And the future's bright. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Oh, together we break the chains of sorrow. Oh, together we live the truth. Oh yes, 'cause in every part of me
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Seattle Unity's worship service. I want to welcome all of our longtime community members, as well as anyone that might be visiting us or checking us out for the first time. I'm Diane Robertson, Associate Minister at Seattle Unity. So let us begin by creating a sacred space and consciousness together. And we know that there is no distance in time or space with Spirit. And so let us take this moment to pause, to center, as we affirm our opening statement, our statement of being together. There is one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence. And I invite us to breathe this in and open our awareness and our consciousness to all that this statement means in our lives. And so it is. I want to extend an invitation to join me for a 5-week series, Unity Principles and Practices. I love teaching this class. Several reasons. One is in our classes, we always get an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit deeper in these smaller gatherings together. Also, the core of Unity is about practical spirituality. How are we living these truths, these teachings in our daily life? And so I consider this a spiritual play box, a spiritual sandbox that we get to play in together. So for 5 weeks, looking at, yes, Unity's 5 principles, but going much deeper than that, and also looking at how we're living this daily. And I know right now, in just very challenging times in our society and our world, that I'm finding I'm needing to really deepen the roots of my spiritual practices and really look at the ways in which I'm living this moment to moment in all the different ways that I'm showing up in the world. And so my invitation is to come and join me, come and join other members in the community and participate in this. Again, it's Wednesdays, 7 to 9 p.m., beginning November 4th. You can find more information and sign up on the website or email me if you have questions. This does count as a membership class. However, you do not need to join as a member. And even if you're a longtime member, I invite you to come and join in. And again, it's about connecting with community in a more intimate way, and then also deepening our practices and being a support for one another. I look forward to seeing you in this journey together. And now, a few more announcements.
I feel the presence moving in me. I feel the presence moving in me. I feel the power. I feel the power moving in me. I feel the power moving in me. Power, power. I feel the power moving in me. I feel the power moving in me. I feel the power moving in me. I feel the power moving in me.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Pasek of Seattle Unity, and I invite all women to join us for a women's retreat online this year on Saturday, November 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The theme of this year's retreat is Turning Your Light Up in the Midst of Chaos. And right now, so much of our world does seem like chaos, but this day-long retreat promises to be centering, spiritually rich, and fun. Our lead facilitator is Masanda Laragod. She is a longtime spiritual coach. She'll be joined by Linnea Jardine, who specializes in grief and loss work. Kathy Bamer is a parent coach who teaches people how to communicate with virtues in everyday life. And Sue Oliver shares movement and mindfulness. This retreat is offered on an affordable sliding scale love offering basis. No one will be turned away. We believe every woman deserves a full day of refreshing spiritual community. So please join us. Check out all the details at seattleunity.org and get registered.
We come now to a time to enter into silence, to take this opportunity to pause. And I know as we're watching remotely, we may still be busy with other things in the home or wherever we are at this time. And I invite us to really take advantage and give ourselves the gift of pausing in this moment and just entering into the stillness and the silence. And so doing whatever you need in order to get comfortable where you are. Taking a few deep breaths, and with that breath, really bringing our focus to our body, to this holy vessel that we walk around in every moment. Feeling the seat fully supporting us, feeling our backs straight but not rigid, and just entering into this awareness, this rhythm of breath, this rhythm of slowing down. Our lives can be very full and busy, even if we're at home much of the time. There's a fullness and a busyness in our society. And so it's essential that we give ourselves this time to slow down, to be still, and to just be in this silence and rest in it for the next few minutes. And so if you're comfortable closing your eyes, allowing yourself to move more deeply within to an inner focus, and maybe making an audible sigh on the out breath, just allowing that, allowing your body to settle, to still and quiet for these next few minutes in the silence.
I won't pretend that I'm alright. Not sure I have the will to fight, but there's a storm that's coming our way. Yeah. Can we find the courage to stay? Where will we run? There's no one to save us, who'll save us, nowhere to turn. So find the strength that's inside us. I'm counting on you, and you on me too. Let's stand our ground, gotta make shelter now, be a lighthouse to everyone. Let's come to life, let's look alive and shine a light. Let's come to life, let's look alive, gotta make things right. Let's come to life, let's look alive and be the light. Let's come to life, let's look alive and look alive. I know we may not look the part, but maybe we have the hero's heart. Feels like we're breaking every day. Oh, we're letting all the dark parts fall away. Our day has come. It's time to rise up and show up. We are the ones to change the world that's around us. They're counting on me and you. The whole world is true. Let's stand our ground, gotta make shelter now, be a lighthouse to everyone. Let's come to life, let's look alive and shine a light. Let's come to life, let's look alive, gotta make things right. Let's come to life, let's look alive and be the light. Let's come to life, let's look alive and look alive. Hey, come to life. Hey, look alive. Hey, look alive. Let's stand our ground, gotta make shelter now, be a lighthouse to everyone that's lost. Let's come to life, let's look alive and shine a light. Let's come to life, let's look alive, gotta make things right. Let's come to life, let's look alive and be the light. Let's come to life, let's look alive and look alive. Let's come to life, let's look alive and shine a light. Let's come to life, let's look alive, gotta make things right. Let's come to life. Let's look alive and be the light. Let's come to life. Let's look alive and look alive.
It is a joy for me to introduce our guest speaker this morning, Reverend Maggie Alderman. Maggie was a classmate of mine, is a classmate of mine in Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute's ministerial program. She graduated and was ordained last June. Congratulations, Maggie. And she now serves as associate minister at New Braunfels Unity in New Braunfels, Texas. Similar to our guest speaker last week, Reverend Megan Smith, Seattle Unity is also Maggie's first spiritual home and introduction to unity. And so she has roots here at Seattle Unity, and we're grateful to have her as our guest speaker today. I just want to share a little bit more about Maggie. So she is passionate about living the principles of practical Christianity and bringing that to others. She does that through her teaching, which she is passionate about, both from the pulpit and in the classroom. She is immersed in how to bring principles into our daily life, so fully into our human experience, and really reflecting this back to each person in their own beautiful perfection. Her greatest strength comes in the form of open, honest sharing about her own experiences so that others can see this in their own journey in the ways that spiritual truth and spiritual principle is showing up for them, and being able to see the divine that unfolds in each moment. She also comes with 2 decades of team leadership and program management backing her experience. And she is the mom of 3 very different young people. And so she has children spanning from millennial generation all the way to right in the middle of Gen Z. And she says that they bring ministry to life for what the next generation of leaders are facing as they grow and develop into the adults that will heal and change our world. Her passion is people, connecting with, talking with people, praying with people, and teaching these principles. She enjoys developing and facilitating workshops for spiritual growth and development, especially around healing old religious wounds and religious beliefs, or lack thereof. So again, invite you to join with me with a warm welcome from our hearts for our guest speaker, Reverend Maggie Alderman.
Good morning, Seattle Unity. Thank you for having me on this wonderful Sunday morning. I am Reverend Maggie Alderman, and I don't know if you know this or not, but this is a virtual homecoming for me. I started my journey in Unity when I was 2 years old at Seattle Unity in your community. I guess that was the start of my journey to becoming a Unity minister. And my talk title today is Pause for Praise. Since this is back to my roots, back to my foundation today, I thought it would be a great time for us to revisit at least 1 or 2 of our Unity basics, Unity 101. And so in that, I'd like to just bring the spirit, the awareness, and the truth of the powerful co-creators that we all are with God, by whatever name you choose to call it. If it's God, Spirit, Creator, heck, you could call it Bob. Whatever it is, we are part of the equation that brings into manifestation that which we want to see, that which we want to be, and that which we want to experience in our individual worlds, in our community beyond, and the world at large. So just the other day, I was with my 15-year-old son going through Costco, you know, the giant box store that's packed on a Saturday. We were there on a Saturday, and we started to take our journey through the store almost in an effortless manner. It was a little eerie. We checked out with ease, and as we loaded up 2 or 3 weeks worth of groceries into the back of my SUV, I found myself singing a little song under my breath. So we loaded groceries, backed out of the parking space, and made my way onto the interstate. And I was with my kiddo, so we were jamming out to whatever tunes he found on the radio. And at some point, he positioned himself and looked at me and said, "Mom, what's changed?" And I said, "What do you mean, bud?" And he said, "You just seem happy." And I thought to myself, I don't know. I just stayed in silence listening to the radio. And a few minutes later, it occurred to me all of the relief that I had experienced from things that were building up, points of transition, discontent, or anticipation in my life, all seemed to come to a head, come to fruition, or be released in a moment just like that. And I told him that. I said, there's been a lot going on, and, this has wrapped up, and this has come through, and I'm really excited about X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank. Being that he was 15, I'm sure his thoughts had already wandered on to what was going to be for dinner. And I rode the rest of the way in contemplation, thinking how it wasn't really fair for me to attribute all of the work that had led me up into that point to breaking loose, breaking free, and coming through in a moment that felt just like that. It was truly a process of discipline and intention setting, deep prayer, and holding the space for what was to be. And in that moment, I recognized that I hadn't paused to praise myself for staying with it. Pause to praise those individuals who had supported me in decision making and confidence building and opportunity development in my life. If I hadn't paused to praise myself and others, I know I hadn't paused to praise my God for the co-creation that 1 + 1 = manifestation in my life. So here we are, going toward the end of October. Harvest season is amongst us. We are producing tons of different colored gourds and pumpkins, pomegranates, and sunflowers, at least in Central Texas. And as a collective, we are still sitting front row watching the unfolding saga that is the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I view COVID-19 as this massive opportunity for us to take time and to literally turn our focus inside, to do the inner work. Unity principle number 3 says that our thoughts create our reality, or at least it creates the reality that we choose to experience. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore would say that every thought is a prayer. And to really make that prayer sing, to release it fully, we have to give it the energy, the fullness of our resources, the fullness of our mind and our body and our spirit, to really embody what we know we want to bring from the invisible realm into the visible realm where we are experiencing our existence. Well, if every thought is a prayer, then wouldn't it be true that every thought also needs that type of intention and energy and commitment to bring into our reality that which we hope to experience, the intention that we set for ourselves, the goals that we set for ourselves? I think that there could be a whole misconception about those fleeting thoughts that we have. I know that there would probably be a slew of carnage behind me if every thought I had driving down I-35 in Central Texas actually took root. There are those that just come in and come out without energy being attached to them, and they're seemingly harmless. So I turned to co-founder Charles Fillmore and the Talks in Truth for a little guidance, a little more wisdom around how we power our thoughts. And this is what he says. Ideas are hinged. They swing in and they swing out. Not everyone has observed this, but everyone must observe it and note also the swing of his particular ideas. An idea that swings in has a mission. It is of spirit and has power to do far beyond an idea that swings out and dissipates in its forces into the whirl of the periphery. On the inner side, ideas behold the great wisdom and attach themselves to it. Then they lose their identity as limited things and take on the unlimited. A single idea that is born of wisdom is irresistible. No one can estimate the power for good that is in an idea generated in the center of the home of ideas, the inner man. When an idea comes from that great galaxy of supreme ideas, it goes forth in strength and in harmony. So when I read this a long time ago, but was reminded of it recently, I thought, oh, well, this just lets me off the hook for those fleeting ideas, those fleeting thoughts. I don't want to claim ownership to bringing into manifestation something negative that I'm experiencing because I didn't hold on to, give discipline to, and breathe life into what I had actually deliberately intended. And so I struggle still. I mean, I love the idea of being in the pocket. You know what I mean? When you're in the pocket, you are firing on all cylinders, perfectly in alignment with truth. And you're manifesting health and wealth and well-being. You can't catch a red light in traffic, and the next time you go to the mailbox, you open up an envelope and bada boom, bada bing, you've got unexpected income. And you knew it was coming because you were riding the frequency of truth. Now, what about when we are experiencing chaos and loss or the perception of confusion? I watch the news not as often as I used to because it actually drives me insane, but I watch from time to time and I think, what is going to happen next? Well, it is that same powerful mental energy that lends itself to creating good and comfort and wealth of abundance and blessings in our life as it is that which creates chaos. When I'm experiencing chaos, it's because I have lost control over my thoughts, lost control over my focus. And chances are I'm not taking time in the silence or taking time to take care of myself. I know that I have definitely missed opportunities to pause for praise. It's very important that we recognize all of the ways that blessings are bestowed upon us and the many ways that God shows up in our lives. I know that when I'm firing on all cylinders and I'm in the pocket, I see the face of God in every face wherever I go. And I'm blessed beyond measure by each person that crosses my path. This reminds me of a story that is found in the Sufi tradition. It is called The Holy Shadow, and it goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was a man that was doing humble, good work to the magnitude that one day he caught the attention of the angels. And the angels witnessed how everywhere this man went, he did good. He helped the sick and the poor and the old and the young alike. So the angels went to their God and said, there is this man who is doing amazing things on the planet. So good that we want to grant him the ability to perform miracles. Now, for the sake of this story, God is housed in a fleshy suit. And in that suit, God said, are you sure that that's what he would even want? And the angels were perplexed, and they said, well, I guess we'll go ask him. So the angels came and they approached the man and they said, you are doing such amazing work. Everywhere you go, you are blessing people, healing people, nurturing the human spirit. So good. We want to give you the capability to perform miracles. We want you to be able to hear beyond the veil, see beyond the veil, raise the dead, heal the sick, clear murky waters. And the man said, I don't have any interest in doing that, not whatsoever. And they said, but you're doing such good work. How can we help you further that? And he said, I don't need to perform miracles. While I'm here on the earthly plane, I want to do as much good work for as many people, and I don't want to know a thing about it. So the angels flapped their wings and granted that wish. From that day forward, the man's shadow permanently resided behind him. And unbeknownst to him, everywhere he went, continuing to do his good work, there was sick people made well, ill people with debilitating diseases able to walk independently. I'm not sure if he rose the dead, but you get what I'm saying. There were murky streams and wells that were polluted and could not drink the water, and just as his shadow would fall upon it, it would clear and raise to unprecedented levels, providing clear, cool drinking water for his community. As time went on, people forgot the man's name, and he was simply known as the Holy Shadow. Oh, this reminds me so deeply of how we can go along unaware of how we're touching people, how what we're thinking and intentionally creating in our universe, in our individual lives, has an actual impact on others. When I pause for praise and reflect back at how many opportunities I have to offer gratitude for a stranger opening the door, for someone greeting me with an enormous smile, even from behind their mask, for a compliment well needed to help get me through a rough day, or finding that unexpected income in my mailbox from someone I've touched in their life. I also think about how many people I may have touched. I may have made laugh so hard that they split their seams on a day that they just needed a dose of humor. Gratitude has an amazing power of transforming our perspectives It has a way of communicating to the universe, to God, that this is what I want to see in my life. This is what I expect to see in my life. This is exactly what I meant to create, and I want more of it. It is essential that we stand in the space of praise, appreciation, gratefulness, and recognizing how we need to harness our thoughts to show up as the holy shadow for others, and recognize when we've been blessed by the holy shadow by others. Gratitude, Charles Fillmore says, even on a mental plane, is a great magnet. When gratitude is expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it is powerfully augmented. That quote is from the Mysteries of John, and right behind it, he goes on to explain the tradition of saying grace before a meal. How it was a tradition that was developed at, centuries ago, because as human beings connected with the divine, we understand the universal law of expressing gratitude, pausing for praise, and before we consume it, and then being open to receive even more. I bet by now you may be thinking about where your thoughts have wandered lately, where you may have missed a moment to pat yourself on the back, to offer a word of gratitude and prayer for those things that have made manifest in your life. I wonder if you might be thinking of a blessing from the Holy Shadow in the most recent days, or maybe weeks or months ago. I know that the Holy Shadow of Seattle Unity blessed me many, many years ago. Clearly, this community made an impression on me, gave me a source to connect to truth, and guide me along my spiritual journey. For that, I know I will be forever grateful. So I invite you now to consider where your thoughts are. How are you contributing to what you want to see made manifest in your life, in the community that you all hold as Seattle Unity while you're in transition from one space to another? And we are most definitely at a critical time in our country where we're watching the unfoldment of a pandemic and potentially the change of power in our government. I know that we are all aware of the foundational unity teachings, that our thoughts do create our reality. And I'm grateful for each one of you as being partners in that creation, taking responsibility, harnessing that energy of putting true intention and prayer and awake thought into what we are bringing into our physical world. Now, if you would please just join me in a moment of prayer for my closing, I would be grateful. I invite you to take a deep breath and close your outer eyes if you're able and comfortable. Breathing into this moment, we experience the truth of our nature, connected to the indwelling spirit through which we move and express and have our being. Let us embrace the fullness of a grateful heart, an awake mind, and call into active power what we want to see in our world, what we want to manifest, who we're becoming, and doing that clearly. We can just be grateful. Grateful for those people that show up on our path. Grateful for those who open the door for us. Grateful for humor and the opportunity to hold a sweet baby, the face of innocence. Joy from our ancestors and our parents, our grandparents, and a neighbor who waves from across the street appropriately. Just glad to know that you're in this world and we are all the better for it. Knowing that we are powerful beings, fully present to the co-creative power that we have with the ultimate creator, the one presence, the one power, active in the universe. We are so grateful. We are grateful and we participate, alive, alert, and enthusiastically. And as we give, we so open ourselves to receive. And we do receive gratefully, graciously, and in abundance. For that truth and for that knowing, for the choice we make in being present in this power, we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for having me today, and blessings on your journey.
I'm Todd Luff, and I miss you guys. I miss you guys. But there are ways that we can stay connected, and here's one of them. I invite you to join me in practicing the law of giving and receiving. Through our generosity, our continued support makes this spiritual community possible. You can give by text using the number on the screen, or donate through the website at seattleunity.org. While you're on the website, check out the easy recurring donation feature too. For now, hold the spirit of your gift in your heart as we affirm, I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness, and I receive with gratitude. We breathe that in, and we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. May each gift return to the giver a millionfold. And so it is. Amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am light.
The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence.
Wherever we are, God is.
And
all is well.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth. Let's come to life. Let's look alive and shine a light.